No, and other pollsters also have now switched to the seat-by-seat polling, which earlier people thought was crazy or it's not the way to do it. Now everybody is doing the same thing, so you have many copycats.
I just want to tell you, here the election is one thing, but what we do is the research study, and what we are trying to study is needs of the people at large. Please understand, needs of the people at large. Needs drive the decision making, the choices you make, whether it's the consumption of any products, party you elect or select to vote for, or anything in your life, in your daily life, day-to-day life. So we try and understand needs of the people, what's drive them to make the decision making and how they are making the decision. This is what is our study point, and that is the reason why, let me tell you, out of total 600,000, which is 6 lakh villages and 6,000 cities and towns of the country, if you come to our office, we can tell you in 3 lakh villages, what is the problem? Where is the electricity problem? Where is the road problem? Where is the leakage in water tank? Where is the garbage collection problem? There is no hospital, and if there is hospital, if doctor is not there, or the medicines are not there. So we try and understand their needs and analyze them and forward it to the right stakeholder. They are going to take the cognizance of the situation and right measure. And this is what we say, connecting India to build India. That's our motto.
It also puts pressure because once you get it right with the kind of accuracy that India today has been getting these polls right, you almost become like the oracle of politics. So people are expecting that Pradeep will tell you exactly what's happening, which is a bit dangerous because he's having to turn his phone off and say, my phone mute us, because everybody's calling wanting to know who's winning. So it's fantastic. Now tell me a couple of things, Pradeep. One, a lot of talk about how because the BJP's won 2022, 2024 is now a cakewalk. Do you buy that, or do you think that's not a right conclusion to draw?
We'll have to wait and see how the challenges emerged. That is also important. And the other side, how the incumbent perform here onwards. You know, we have seen sometime BJP lost very badly during 2018 assembly elections, particularly of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. And after 4 months, there was general election, and BJP emerged victorious, and victorious in a big way. So at times, you know, we need to understand the situation. The government, the party should not be complacent, and they do whatever they've been doing, then there is no problem.
Let's just look at some of these numbers that we have, you know, particularly Uttar Pradesh. If we can for a moment try and give our viewers a sense of how UP has actually voted. 270 is a huge win in India's most populous state. Let's look at it region by region. We'll go vote share. Purvanchal vote share, 13% is BSP, 34% is SP, BJP 42%. And we'll say, you know, this is which was perhaps the most competitive area. Purvanchal turned out to be the most competitive area, Eastern UP. That's why many people who went to Purvanchal saw that element of competition, including Preeti Chaudhary, who was traveling through Gorakhpur and other parts. This was competitive. But when it went into seats, you will see how it translated. In terms of seats in Purvanchal, that's where you will see that when you have an 8% lead in a bipolar race, it gives you the party which has that lead. Okay, let's look at the Awadh vote share. So we look at vote share first, because that gives you a sense. Here the BJP in its gud, in its fortress areas around Lucknow, Barabanki, Ayodhya, this area, the gap was about 6%, which again, many would say reflects, and the Samajwadi Party came up here. The polarization meant the Samajwadi Party's had its best ever performance in Awadh, but not good enough. Bundelkhand, the poorer part, areas around Jhansi, the heart, here clean sweep. And this is why one of the talking points will be the poorer areas seem to vote even more strongly for the BJP. Was it Labharti politics, ration working very effectively, is something that we'll have to discuss. And then we look at Western UP, which was in a way seen to be where the Samajwadi Party had to pick up momentum. Here the BJP has a 9% lead. So the BJP's lowest lead, it turns out, was in Eastern UP, And in Western UP, despite this large coalition, they were able to best back the BJP. Preeti, this is what has surprised you, right? You traveled a lot through Western UP, Baghpat, Muzaffarnagar, Meerut. The Samajwadi Party, RLD, have done reasonably well, but not well enough.
I think the RLD would think it's done reasonably well if it gets about 10 seats. Then I think the RLD would think it's done reasonably well.
That's Jayant Chaudhary's party.
That is Jayant Chaudhary's party. But I don't think that vote transfer has happened, which is what I was also fearing when we were covering.
Just look at how it's translated into seats. And Pradeep, you might want to explain this. 90 plays 46, almost 2, and all have been blanked out, including the once mighty Mayawati of the BSP, who comes from Western UP. I just wanted to understand, Pradeep, when you are, the challenge for a pollster is not just about getting vote share, but translating that into seats. That's the nightmare. How do you do it?
So that's the reason why we go to seats here. So we never face that kind of nightmare.
So you don't get into any issue of translating vote share into seats because you're going to every seat.
And we analyze every seat as if as the full.
And your sample size for every seat in UP 200,
300.
300 per seat.
Yeah, that's why it is total making out to 1,21,000 this time.
Wow, fantastic. As many WhatsApp groups that the BJP has, Pradeep went to that many voters. The BJP very good at booth level with its Panna Pramukhs, its block Pramukhs, its Shakti Kendras and Mandals. Let's turn now to Awadh and take a look at how the seats translated in the Awadh area. What were the seats that they got in Awadh? This is of course the vote share. How did it translate in UP Awadh into seats? And take a look at what is happening in terms of the seats here. 77-32. So again, 2:1, more than 2:1. This was of course, as I keep saying, a fortress for the BJP. The BJP expected to do well. And then the final area that I want to come to is in Purvanchal. Because the competition here was the most severe, the most serious in terms of the fact that you had a caste alliance stitched together. Lots of smaller parties, Nishads, Rajbhars, Nonias, all were there on the side of the Samajwadi Party. How did it actually work out? 48 played 84. Congress won 1 year, others 3, BSP 3. So, you know, in a sense, there isn't a single region where the BJP is behind. It's dominated Uttar Pradesh today across region. This is a pan-region sweep, which is the only way to describe what happened in Uttar Pradesh. Can we quickly look at Punjab? And particularly in Punjab, look at Malwa. Because the story within a story is, as I keep reiterating, Delhi of 2015 has been repeated in Malwa of 2022. 91 seats, of course, is the overall number in Punjab. And there is Bhagwant Mann laughing his way, Channi looking depressed, Sukhbir Singh Badal wondering ki ye Badal kahan se aa gaye, and Nadda ji with Amrinder Singh also looking not very happy. Majha at the moment, okay, we are not getting okay, there you have it, 38% to AAP, 11% lead here, huge lead over the Congress. The Akalis are the ones who got 24% here, but clearly were well behind. So you have a double-digit lead in Majha. Can I look at Malwa for a moment? When we look at Malwa, and this is areas around Patiala, Sangrur, 47 place 20. This is a smash. This is a 26% lead. In fact, the Akalis have done slightly better than the Congress in terms of vote share. Yeah. So that Dera vote may have got translated in some places.
No. Rajiv, they are very strong in area like Bhatinda. That's their stronghold.
There is nothing like Dera. Pradeep Gupta has an important point based on the data. Because a lot of punditry was about how the Dera vote got switched en masse from one to the other. Pradeep's point is that you no longer are in a country where the Dera chief can say vote for X, Y or Z. People apply their own mind. They may differentially tell you that yes, we will do what you say, but ultimately they will do what they want. And even within families, the whole idea that Mukhya can move the vote of the village, that's not true. People have their own agency, they apply their own mind and they do what they think is right. That's an important trend out of the data.
Yes, 100%, Rahul. In fact, I keep on telling to all the leaders, they always say कि उस leader ने अपने vote इधर transfer कर दिए, उधर transfer कर दिए. I keep on saying, boss, वो ज़माने गए जब जमींदार एक आंख दिखा देता तो पूरा गांव एक तरफ करता था. आज आपके बच्चे आपकी बात नहीं सुनते हैं तो जमींदार की क्या बात?
Very interesting. Let's look at Doaba. because this was the belt as a Doaba between the two rivers.
Malwa seats here.
Yeah, we'll come to the seat share. Doaba 29 placed 24, so 31 placed 29. So this is where the Congress did the best, but it was not good enough. This is where the Channi factor, the fact that this is a large, there are a number of Dalits in Doaba.
Victory speech of Bhagwant.
Okay, those are Bhagwant
Bhagwant Mann, the victory speech.
You know,
He's standing with his mother.
he's wearing the yellow pagdi, which is the color of Shahid Bhagat Singh. His idol and inspiration, he's completely off alcohol. He said so publicly, wakes up early, stays working till night. All of AAP and now the voters of Punjab, I assume, are hoping he'll keep it like that. He's a changed man in many ways. He's committed, he's passionate, he has Punjab in rapture. We got Satinder Chauhan live with Raghav Chadha, one of the heroes of the AAP victory in Punjab. Let's go across straight to Raghav Chadha. Go for it, Satinder.
पंजाब में इसे जीत कहा जाए या फिर जीत से भी आगे का कोई शब्द हो तो वो शायद इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है। बहरहाल राघव चड्ढा मेरे साथ मौजूद हैं और इस जीत का सेहरा अगर राघव चड्ढा के सर पर बांधा जाए तो इससे कम कतई भी नहीं होगा। राघव, किस तरह की स्ट्रेटेजी रही? क्या वाकई में ये सोचा था कि इतनी बड़ी जीत मिलेगी? ये तो आप कह रहे थे कि जीतेंगे, क्लियर मेजोरिटी के साथ सरकार बनाएंगे, लेकिन इस तरीके से लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री होगी, ये सोचा था आपने?
देखिए, लल्लू करे कवलियां रब सिद्धियां पावे। हम तो छोटे से लोग हैं, जीत का सेहरा हमारे सर पे नहीं, पंजाब के लोगों के सर पे बंधना चाहिए, जिन्होंने 50 साल तक राज करने वाले बड़े बड़े सियासतदानों को उखाड़ फेंका, बड़े बड़े सिंहासन आज डोल गए और आम आदमी पंजाब का खड़ा हुआ और उस आम आदमी ने भगवंत मान साहब की, अरविंद केजरीवाल साहब की जोड़ी को गले लगाया है और इस जीत के असली हकदार पंजाब के लोग हैं। और मुझे लगता है कि ये एक चमत्कार से कम नहीं है। हमें पूरी विश्वास था कि ऐसा ही लैंडस्लाइड मैंडेट आम आदमी पार्टी को मिलेगा, लेकिन फिर भी ये परमात्मा ने अपना मेहर वाला हाथ अपने बच्चों पे रखा है, हम सब पे रखा है। ये चमत्कार से कम नहीं है और एक जीत नहीं कहूंगा मैं इसे, ये कोई साधारण जीत नहीं है, कोई एक इलेक्शन में जीत मिल गई। एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी पंजाब के लोगों ने आम आदमी पार्टी के भगवंत मान साहब के कंधों पे डाली है, पंजाब को फिर से खुशहाल बनाने की। और मेरा विश्वास है कि पंजाब अब उड़ता पंजाब नहीं, उठता पंजाब, खुशहाल पंजाब के नाम से जाना जाएगा।
केजरीवाल साहब हमारे एक प्रोग्राम में आए थे, आप भी उसमें मौजूद थे, और ये चुनावों से कई दिन पहले प्रोग्राम था चंडीगढ़ में, तो उन्होंने लिख के दिया था कि चन्नी भी दोनों सीटों से हारेंगे, सुखबीर बादल हारेंगे, प्रकाश सिंह बादल हारेंगे। तो ये इतना कॉन्फिडेंस और इतना आभास आपको पहले से कैसे हो गया था?
देखिए, हम ग्राउंड पे काम कर रहे थे, ग्राउंड पे मेहनत कर रहे थे और केजरीवाल साहब ने जो लिखा, भगवंत मान साहब ने जो लिखा, वो सारी बातें सच हुई। ये सब दिग्गज हार गए। हमने पंजाब के लोगों को झाड़ू चलाने के लिए कहा था, पंजाब के लोगों ने तो वैक्यूम क्लीनर चला दिया और सारी सफाई कर दी। ये तो देखिए, ये एक धर्म युद्ध था। एक तरफ अधर्म था, जिन लोगों ने हम पे कीचड़ उछाला, केजरीवाल साहब को आतंकवादी कहा, भगवंत मान साहब का मजाक उड़ाया, मुझे गोरा अंग्रेज का, केजरीवाल साहब को काला अंग्रेज का। ये ताकतें हारी और धर्म जीता। धर्म हमारे साथ था। कट्टर ईमानदार मान साहब की और केजरीवाल साहब की जोड़ी जीती। पॉजिटिव कैंपेन, पॉजिटिव एजेंडा जीता। ये लोग जब केजरीवाल साहब को आतंकवादी कहते थे तो केजरीवाल साहब जवाब देते थे कि मैं इतने स्कूल बनाऊंगा। ये भगवंत मान साहब का मजाक उड़ाते थे तो भगवंत मान साहब जवाब देते थे कि मैं इतने अस्पताल बनाऊंगा। पॉजिटिव कैंपेन हमने के आधार पे इलेक्शन लड़ा। और सबसे बड़ी बात, आज पंजाब ने जात की राजनीति, धर्म की राजनीति, कीचड़ फेंकने की जो राजनीति जिन लोगों की थी, उनकी दुकानों पे ताला लगा दिया और एक नई राजनीति को जन्म दिया।
राघव, आप लोग जो है सरकार पर और पंजाब के जो ट्रेडिशनल पॉलिटिशियंस हैं उनके ऊपर आरोप लगा रहे थे, लेकिन जो आरोप आप लगा रहे थे वो सरकार में रहते रहते नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू भी ऐसा ही बोल रहे थे। जब चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी कहते थे कि मैं युवाओं को रोजगार दूंगा, तो नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू कहते थे कि ये झूठ है, लॉलीपॉप नहीं होने चाहिए। तो क्या लगता है कि इन्होंने भी आपकी मदद करी है?
देखिए, ये लोग आपस में लड़ाइयां लड़ रहे थे, ये मुख्यमंत्री बनने की आपस में लड़ाइयां लड़ रहे थे, हम पंजाब को बचाने की लड़ाई लड़ रहे थे। लोगों ने हमें आशीर्वाद दिया, लोगों ने हमें बख्शिश दी अपनी। और साफ तौर पे ये जो मैंडेट है आज ये भी प्रूव करता है कि आज आम आदमी पार्टी सही मायनों में एक राष्ट्रीय फोर्स बन के उभरी, एक नेशनल ताकत बनी है, राष्ट्रीय स्तर पे एक बहुत बड़ी राजनीतिक ताकत बनी है। मेरा अपना मानना है कि आने वाले समय में आम आदमी पार्टी कांग्रेस की राष्ट्रीय और स्वाभाविक विकल्प बनेगी, यानी कि नेशनल और नेचुरल ऑल्टरनेटिव बन के उभरेगी। इसी के साथ साथ अरविंद केजरीवाल जी भाजपा के प्रिंसिपल चैलेंजर बन के आगे आएंगे, ये मेरा विश्वास है।
और राघव चड्ढा के बारे में चुनावों से पहले कहा जा रहा था कि सरकार बनेगी तो राघव चड्ढा भी सरकार का हिस्सा होंगे, यहां तक कहा जा रहा था कि डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर वो हो सकते हैं पंजाब के।
देखिए, मेरी जिम्मेदारी इलेक्शन लड़वाने की थी, मैं पार्टी का पंजाब का सारा कामकाज देख रहा था, मेरी इलेक्शन लड़वाने तक की जिम्मेदारी थी और मैंने लड़वा के अपनी वो पूरी जिम्मेदारी अदा करी है। सरकार भगवंत मान साहब की है, भगवंत मान साहब की अध्यक्षता में मान साहब चलाएंगे और मेरा पूरा विश्वास कि एक प्रो पीपल सरकार चलाएंगे और हम लोग सिर्फ उनके लिए काम नहीं करेंगे जिन्होंने हमें वोट दिए, सबके लिए काम करेंगे, जिन्होंने वोट नहीं दिए उनके लिए भी करेंगे।
अभी आपने कहा कि अब आप प्रिंसिपल चैलेंजर हैं, गुजरात और ये हिमाचल के चुनाव बिल्कुल पास आ रहे हैं, आगे क्या स्ट्रेटेजी रहेगी?
देखिए, केरल से लेकर कश्मीर तक, असम से लेकर गुजरात तक, हर जगह लोग आम आदमी पार्टी के मॉडल को, केजरीवाल मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस को देख रहे हैं, समझ रहे हैं और उसका लाभ लेना चाहते हैं। वो चाहते हैं कि उनके सूबे में भी, उनके राज्य में भी केजरीवाल मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस आए और मुझे लगता है कि आने वाले समय में राज्य दर राज्य भी और राष्ट्र स्तर पर भी आम आदमी पार्टी खूब विस्तार करेगी। अगला कौन सा राज्य लड़ेंगे, क्या रणनीति से लड़ेंगे, आपको बहुत जल्द कुछ ही दिनों में हम ये बताएंगे।
अच्छा, एक आखिरी सवाल आपसे पूछ लेता हूँ, शपथ ग्रहण और कैबिनेट, ये दोनों चीज एक दूसरे से जुड़े हुए हैं। वैसे ये कहा जा रहा है कि आप लोगों ने बहुत पहले से तैयारी कर दी थी, रात रात में चल रहा था कि कौन मंत्री क्या बनेगा।
देखिए, अभी तो आज जीत हुई है, भगवंत मान साहब मुख्यमंत्री हैं, वो चुनेंगे अपनी कैबिनेट, ये उनका संवैधानिक हक है, वो चुनेंगे कि उनको अपनी कैबिनेट में अपनी